God of War has been one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. I have played most of the old games. I'm currently stuck on 3 because I really want to find a way to play God of War 3 before I continue on to the North Saga. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten the chance to play 3 yet. And over the years, I've been seeing, news about the 2018 God of War game and the Ragnarok sequel. And lucky, I saw the character Kratos there. He had changed from what I have seen back when I was younger because when I was young, he was one of my favorite video game protagonists of all time. There was something so inspiring and resilient about him that a guy who, despite the fact that he wanted to quit his own life, he still stayed on and continued on. And despite the gods messing him over, he sought out to destroy all of them. And there was something so cathartic about his anger and his hatred. It felt real, felt understandable. I could understand why he hated them. And despite some of the most horrible things he did in his past, there was a level of like I can understand the character. Yeah, I see why he's pissed off. So in the future ones, I discovered the newer games where he had been atoning for his sins, and I have come to understand that the character had to mature. Like, yes, I was being told by people that yeah, he had to mature, he has become a better character. Him in the past, he wasn't a well written character, he wasn't seen as inspiring to people. So, unfortunately, he wasn't a character that the masses could relate with. Then, Ragnarok came, he got his character arc, the game finished. I got spoiled on the game for some reason because it's a course, but I discovered that his character arc with his son, and well, it felt fair. It felt fair for his character. I couldn't force out the old Kratos from the Greek saga that I really liked, but I felt happy that at least the character got to have a nice conclusion. Though I still miss the old games, I still miss the mad angered man. But I could understand that that was my immaturity showing. Then recently, the new character and the new game in the franchise came out. It was called Sons of Sparta or whatever, but like it's basically a game based off his backstory. And I was willing, I was ready to check out this new game that's coming out. Then I just discovered that it was stuck on the PS5. But then I heard the dialogue for the game, and it was so atrocious. Because one thing about like the older games, especially on Ghost of Sparta, if you listen to the dialogue, if you listen to how the characters speak, it was so sincere, so inspiring, and it felt otherworldly when you heard the character speak in the franchise. And I started to notice it within 2018 and also like much in Ragnarok. Like yeah, when Thor yells out "fuck you" or something like that, it takes you out of the world, and it doesn't feel right within the God of War universe. Another thing that also affects the newer games is the how the worlds look. I tried to ignore it because I was like, they're in a different mythology. Some stuff will not look as tense as and grainy as how it looks in other mythologies. But maybe I'll just copy it in my head. Maybe I'm just forcing something into my head I didn't believe. But it was a lie. It was a terrible lie because the vibes of the old games were so immaculate, so well designed. It set you in the mood to be in the Greek saga. And the North Saga, they have never managed to capture that vibe. And then, you know, I saw the new trailer for the new Laufey trailer and I was scared because I feel like this franchise is no longer for me anymore. This is not the same God of War I grew up with. Now, some people might look at this video and say, "You stupid boy, or you why you scared of woman?" It's not the woman thing, no. I do not really care about that. Like, Atreus could have been there, and I still wouldn't have liked it. Heck, you could have put Thor there, and I wouldn't still like it. Like, that's how different I am on this franchise now. I feel like the franchise has abandoned its like level of dark roots. Like the first God of War game, if you compare it with what you see in Alpha now, it's such a different vibe. You wouldn't even believe me. If I told you this was the same franchise, you would brutally insult me. That's how different the franchise has changed. The vibes, the story, how the characters speak, the intelligence to the dialogue, the way the world was designed. When you played the very first God of War, you felt a level of truth and love and care that was taken to design this world. God of War 2, each character, when they spoke with conviction, a level of like intellect that you could respect. The newer games, I feel like the writers forgot what the franchise had been about. Like, yeah, I knew the character had to mature, but they seem a little bit too passive. And then not to talk about the gameplay. Now, one of my best peeves about like the newer games was like inability to jump. I've not been able to play them. I don't know how crucial jumping is in the games, but if we're kind of depressing that the character that was known for his infamous double jump can't jump. But then I see new alpha gameplay and I'm like, okay, maybe they can bring back something sick. I saw a double jump, I was kind of excited. I was like, wow, that's sick. And then I saw the combat and I was like, well, this combat is terrible. Like I'm not the one to like claim because I haven't played it, but visually you can tell when combat looks mediocre. And unfortunately, the newer God of War games they don't leave me with that visceral feeling that I felt from the older games. There was some sort of like therapy of playing the OG games. There was a level of like happiness that you feel. And you're like, yes, this is the world I want to live in. This yeah, despite how cruel and brutal this character is, I still want him to see his victory to the end. And having a game make you side with the monster like that, the directors knew damn well how well they designed that world. Now to even like imagine getting the newest games just feels like a slog. And I believe God of War is a franchise and it's no longer for people that love the first games or the first trilogy in the franchise. So this is the point where I would need to abandon the franchise and give it to the new generation. I love the OG God of War games. I believe that they are some of the best games of all time. But I also believe that Sony doesn't respect them like how they are meant to be respected. So this is my final farewell on goodbye to the God of War franchise. I will never stop talking about the franchise because I have not finished three yet, and I still want to take out my time to dedicate a retrospective to this franchise for all the love I've experienced for it. One of my favorite games of all time. But with the newest release, the 2018 Ragnarok and Laufey, I just know damn well that the critics of the Greek saga is over. So whoever of you guys are enjoying the franchise, please enjoy it. Until next time, good night.